Hello, this video is about the SmartCAM code generator functions, including editing a code generator and adding a new machine to the library. And we're starting with a simple model that just has spot drilling and drilling. You can verify it here. Hit play, and there's the spot drill, and then there's the drill. So it's just a nice simple model with one tool change and not a lot of code, so it's easier to edit the code generator. So let's go ahead and create a code file. You can use process code. I like using the button bars, so I'll create code here. And right now the machine is undefined. The code file inherits the name of the model and then sticks the whatever your default file extension is. Mine happens to be .cod, and my Windows file association associates .cod files with Notepad++, so it'll open it with Notepad++ and writing it to just a temp folder. And I'm going to turn on open code file. And so right now the machine's undefined, so let's go choose one. You can do that with the choose button here. And if we go to choose, you can see that we have a couple of examples that we ship with the product. So we'll just pick the 3-axis machining sim for now. And then you can see that the machine name shows up here. The location of the code generator files, and those are the SMF, which is a SmartCAM machine file, and the CGT, which is the code generator template file. And then it gives a description. Let's go ahead and create a new machine right now. So let's go to File Select. And I've made a copy, exact copies of the LS Mill here. So let's just pick the LS Mill 2. That's the copy that I made. We'll open that. And if you press enter, it should default that. And let's give it a different description. Like and then let's save this machine. And let's call it Pause with the broken. You can call it anything you want. It could be the Haws by the bathroom. It could be the whatever. It's whatever you understand best. So we'll accept that. And now you can see the machine name has changed to the Haws with the broken window. The path is the same. And we have the new machine file and template file. Let's go ahead and accept that. And now you can see it's going to be the Haws with the broken window. And open code files turned on. So let's go ahead and create code. And then it opens it. And that all looks pretty good, right? Except the operator said that he would like to see the coolant turned on when the tool gets down close to the part, because the Haws has a broken window and it's probably splashing coolant out through that window. So we want this M08 to be down here when it gets to Z.1, and the same thing in the tool change section here. So we want to move those two. So let's go ahead, and if we go back to choose, we can see our path is the common mill machine, and we want to edit this LS Mill 2. So let's go ahead and go to, with the File Explorer, Program Data SmartCAM, Common Mill Machine. And then here's the LS Mill 2. So let's go ahead and edit that. And then let's go ahead and find out where this stuff is being output from. We can turn the sections on, and in the code generator, it is comprised of different sections. Opens a section, closes a section, and here we've got the start section, and then it closes there, and so on. So we want to see what section the output where our coolant is coming on is coming from. We might as well turn on line refs, so it'll tell us what line number from the template file that it's coming from. Conditions is for whether the output is true or false, whether it should or should not output a modal command like a G0 or G01 and so forth. Errors, we're not looking for errors, but it'll output an error number and description, and including line number of where it's coming from. All we're interested in right now is sections and line rests. So let's go ahead and create code. We'll overwrite it again. So we can see here that it looks like, I'm gonna open this I'm gonna open up this one in a different instance. So I'm gonna open this to a new instance so we can move it over here. So we're looking at the @start section. And over here is the @start section. And then the O, letter O, prog ID, that's this line. And then block numbering is turned on with the on block, and it's the N2. And we can go on down, and here we can see pound coolant. Pound coolant is coming on here. Line 35, so there's line 35. So pound coolant is coming on there. We want it to come on down here at the Z.1 or the Z pause. So let's move this. So I'm going to Control X on Windows hotkeys and Control V that there. And delete that. And then we want to do the same thing in that tool change section. If we go down here, that tool change section is doing the same thing. On line 47 there. So, oh, well, we've moved it all down, but here it is again. So we can do the same thing. We can cut that here and paste it here. And then delete it once. And I think that should do it. So I'm going to save it and close this. And well, we should be able to do this without the sections and line numbers this time. Overwrite it. And now it looks like, yeah, so it's outputting it at the Z.1 here, Z.1 here. Then the operator says, well, no, he would like to see the coolant come on a line by itself after the Z move. Okay, so we'll say, all right, well, we can do that. So we'll close that. Come back here, and then all we got to do is in the @start section, we'll center. Going too many spaces in. And same thing here. And save that. And then we'll create a new code file. And now it rapids down to the Z.1, then turns the coolant on. After the tool change, it rapids down to the Z.1 and then turns the coolant on. And so we have our machine now saved as the Haas with the broken window. And I think that should do it. Thank you for watching.